my channel. I am back with this week's Teen Mom Recap. Before I get started with this week's video, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every single week about the newest episode of Teen Mom The Next Chapter, and we talk about the news that's going on in the Teen Mom world. If that's something you would be interested in watching, go ahead and subscribe. And anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this week's video. So we have some updates on Jenelle and her endless chaos. Sorry, Kale, but Jenelle is definitely the most chaotic one here. About a week ago, a Redditor was on a flight and saw that Kaiser and Jenelle were on that same flight, and it was the plane that was leaving Nashville. So basically, she's taking Kaiser home, which is shocking considering that the rumor was that Jenelle planned to leave Kaiser with Doris, Nathan's mom, for at least 8 months. And I believe that because if it wasn't true, Jenelle would have just said, oh, that's not true, he's just there on vacation. Now, the reason for her picking Kaiser up is debatable. Some say it was because of the backlash. Some people say that Doris was leaking info and Jenelle basically took him back as like revenge against Doris. Some people say that CPS in Vegas was demanding to speak with Kaiser. We don't really know. Around the same time, the Ashley's Reality Roundup revealed that Jenelle got fired from Teen Mom Next Chapter, but not for the reason that you would think. Not because she's a terrible mom, not because she's a deadbeat. No, apparently the reason was she was trying to get August portrayed as a boyfriend on the show because he would get paid more if he was. $25,000 more actually per episode because that's how much the moms and their partners make. But MTV refused. Having August be a boyfriend really took away from the whole redemption arc they were wanting to show Jenelle having. They wanted to show her living life as a single mom, away from David and being with her kids. But showing August as her boyfriend and not just her manager would have kind of killed that. Also, Jenelle didn't deliver the ratings they had hoped, and there are already too many girls in the cast of the show. Okay, like, MTV cannot be this fucking dumb, right? First of all, Jenelle did bring up the ratings, maybe not as much as they would have liked. But did they not see why she didn't bring up the ratings as much as they wanted? It's because you're trying to edit Jenelle to make it look like she has a redemption arc. Last summer, I covered a lot of Jenelle's messiness. Her multiple court cases, her siding with David all the way up until he got a new girlfriend. It was a dumpster fire, but MTV covered none of that on the most recent season. They gave Jenelle a saint edit last season. Like, oh, poor little me. I'm just a single mom trying to make it. Watch me make business deals with a weed company that never panned out. I'm a businesswoman. I don't need a man. Like, people don't want to watch that because it's fake as fuck. There's a reason people used to love watching Jenelle on the show. And it's because she was a disaster and it was very real and very funny. There is no redemption arc for her, at least not now. So it's not realistic to try to portray that she does have that. And like I've said before, the draw of this show the whole time has been that it does not come off as manufactured. Anyway, her boyfriend, a juror, August, went to Us Weekly to give this statement, which I read in my head in like his weird-ass voice. Our lawyer is in communication with the network's legal. As of right now, nobody has any answers. Regardless of what anyone says, there is no bad breakup. No bad blood between Jenelle and MTV. Everything's fine. We will continue our relationship with MTV and Teen Mom. Jenelle definitely is not being fired. And then he goes on saying that she's just might be in less episodes or whatever. It seems like a cop-out. The Ashley's Reality Roundup is saying that if Jenelle does show up next season, it's just going to be old footage that was previously filmed and left over. And then, this is hilarious, Jenelle's response to being fired was to set up a tripod, sit back down in her recliner, cry, and then post herself crying in the recliner. This was quickly deleted once she got immediately roasted for it, but it also became a meme.
Hey, you okay? I'm fine. Just resting. Did you get up? Yeah, I always get up.
Bitch, please do get up. Get up and stop embarrassing yourself on the internet. Then we have some drama from our favorite hobosexual, David Eason. He is currently dating a woman named Kenley Heatwole, who looks remarkably like Jenelle. But like all hobosexuals, David is purely dating her for a place to live, since his Yeti-looking ass is homeless. In an attempt to recoup some of his lost investment in Jenelle, TMZ has reported that David broke into Jenelle's old property in North Carolina. Him, his girlfriend, and 3 men, probably meth heads that they paid off, used bolt cutters to break in and enter the vacant property. They drove up to the garage, broke inside, and took all the motorcycles. And this was all caught on camera, by the way, until David actually pulled the security camera down. Which, yeah, that's definitely not a sign that you're doing something illegal. Now somehow, David called the sheriff's office to the scene of his own crime. I guess they were not aware of the divorce and the no contact order, because the sheriff's office actually did send a deputy there to help David collect his belongings. Our legal system is clearly a joke. The officer calls Jenelle on her Ring camera that she has at that house and informs her that David is picking up her stuff. And I will leave a link to these videos below, by the way. I'm pretty sure TMZ claims your video real quick if you put their footage, so link down below. Janelle's like, there's no contact order between me and David. Why is he there? He's not allowed to be there. And the officer's like, oh no, it's okay because you're not here. But Janelle's like, no, it doesn't matter. He cannot be there at all. There's a bed and board order. He had one chance to get his stuff months ago, and that's over now. And basically, since they're in divorce court, who that stuff belongs to is up to the courts to decide. And David can't just like go in and take it all for himself. It's marital property. The officer's like, let me call my sergeant. So he does that, and the answer he gets is that David is not allowed to take the motorcycles, but he is allowed to take his work tools. And I'm just like, bitch, what work tools? David doesn't work. He hasn't worked in like a decade. Jenelle was his work tool. For her part, Jenelle is still pissed because David missed his deadline to get this stuff, and she doesn't understand why they're still letting him get some of it, and she says she's going to take legal action against him and the cop. And honestly, she should. Like, this is the one time I'm going to take Janelle's side here. If you're using bolt cutters, cutting down security cameras, and showing up with 3 random men, you know you're doing something illegal. And the Ashley's Reality Roundup also provided some extra funny details. Jenelle was screaming that the bikes and other stuff were not David's to take, and that she knew he would just sell them for cash. Can you imagine being the cop supervising all this, and you just hear screaming coming from the ring cam? Get off my property! Jenelle called the sheriff's office, spoke to the sergeant, told him about the protection order, and he ordered the deputy to stop them from loading up anything else. He made David return anything that had already been loaded onto the trailer and only take the tools. The Ashley's source says that that's when David got pissed and got into a verbal altercation with the on-scene deputy, narrowly avoiding getting arrested. I fucking cannot. Imagine calling the police on yourself to watch you do illegal things and actually almost getting away with it until your temper causes you to nearly get arrested anyway by the very cop that you called to the scene. David insisted, I'm leaving with my trailer, and the deputy, who'd been nice up until that point, made it clear that David would be arrested if he didn't calm down, so he piped down. David was informed if he came back to the property again, he'd be arrested for trespassing. Now, after all this happened, the Ashley's Reality Roundup released an article saying that David crashed his girlfriend Kenley's car in this whole mess, and that the car was her late father's old car, so she was really sad about it. And we can see evidence that this article did in fact exist, but the Ashley did retract it and delete it. She said that it ended up not being true. One of her sources is lying. But before she deleted it, Jenelle apparently read it and believed it though, as she posted this. He also wrecked my car before, and I was pregnant. But in that article that was deleted, we did get some bits and pieces that are true. For example, Kenley writing a response saying that there's 3 sides to every story, and also a reveal that Kenley and David lived together. And someone on Reddit managed to copy and paste this article before it was deleted. So I'm going to put that right here for the people who are curious, but I'm not going to read it because it's apparently not even true. But wait, there's more. Just today, Nathan came out and talked to the US Sun about what he thinks of all this drama going on. Let's take a look. I'm not sure how much of the video I can post here, so we will see. So I watched the whole thing, and Nathan, although he does have his own slew of really bad legal issues like domestic abuse, strangulation, in this video, he does come off as sober and relatively logical.
She moved around this area, which is absolutely a horrible place to raise children. I mean, with the drugs, with the gangs, with the violence, with the, robbery, it's a terrible place.
And I also said that from the beginning. Not really a place you'd want to raise some kids who are already troubled.
Thought she was making the right decision of dropping Kaiser off at my mother's house. My mother has raised 5 children.
And I said that even in my last video. I said that in the long run, Kaiser is way better off with Doris than he is with Jenelle. I just didn't like the way that Jenelle went about it. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about her going and snatching him right back. It was better for him in the long run to stay there. Now, some of the stuff that he ended up saying here about the stuff that Kaiser went through at school and the trouble he was getting in was retracted. I'll let you know a little bit of some of the theories that people are thinking up. but because of his privacy, because he's a child, they did take out some of the information.
My son has already he already vapes, he's already done, and he's 10 years old. He's 10.
So we could speculate a little there. I'm thinking he probably, smokes weed, drinking. Some people are saying having sex, but that is just crazy to me. He's only 10 years old, and I can't imagine why Nathan would even say that if it was true. I mean, so disturbing. Nathan does not like that she's living with August. He says a man's living with her again. That's her life. She can do what she wants, but I believe most people would look at that as unstable and not getting her priorities straight, and he's correct.
My son told me he has gotten caught, vaping. He told me he has done.
Again, we don't know what exactly he said there. Some people are speculating pills, alcohol, although you wouldn't say done alcohol. So I really wonder what he's trying to say there. Drugs, maybe. So apparently Nathan reveals that Kaiser was already enrolled in school in Tennessee. So obviously this was not planned to be a vacation if you're enrolling him in school over there. But only 3 days into it, Jenelle walked up there and pulled him out of school saying he had to go to the hospital. Apparently, when the short time that Kaiser was in Tennessee, he was playing with his cousins. He was going over to Nathan's brother's house or his uncle. They were giving him lifelong lessons about how he can grow and flourish and things where he can reflect on himself, like, am I making the right decision? That's the environment that he needed to be in. He's worried that Kaiser, when he grows up, is going to have a lot of negative consequences for his behavior and basically turn out like Nathan. So after all these bombshells are revealed, August, of course, calls up the son to give his and Jenelle's side of the story. She said she is not blocking contact between Nathan and Kaiser. Nathan isn't involved in Kaiser's schooling. He never got caught with a vape. He got in trouble for arguing with kids. August says, we think Kaiser's at an age where he's trying to brag about whatever, and if he was to do drugs, he would be in so much trouble to where we would not only intervene, but we would get authorities involved. Here's the thing, authorities are already involved in you guys' life, so... We don't play with that. Like, we're not playing. We have Ensley in the home, and we're not about to allow Kaiser or anybody to jeopardize Ensley's well-being or anybody's well-being. It is so clear that Ensley is, like, the favorite child. A lot of times these narcissistic parents, like Jenelle, they'll favor, like, the same gender child because they feel like they're like them. So, obviously, Janelle's gonna favor Ensley. And Jenelle is not dumb. Okay. We understand that she's under scrutiny with the public and CPS may get involved or not be involved. We're not playing with no kids. If Kaiser was to ever do drugs and we know of it, we're going to deal with it like any good household family parent would deal with that. There's no leniency on that. This dude is a manager and he doesn't know how to talk. They say they do regular searches of all the kids' rooms and his room gets searched. We don't play with none of the kids because of these specific reasons. So we're searching Jace's room, Kaiser's room, Ensley's room. Whether it's drugs, weapons, vapes, or anything. And Jenelle says Nathan doesn't even know Kaiser well enough to know if he's telling the truth or not. Well, I believe Nathan more than I believe two people who have a motive to say, oh, he's not doing any drugs, not in our house, because obviously that's going to cause a lot of CPS involvement, more than they already have. But yeah, that is about it for today. A lot of stuff going on in the past week, a lot of stuff that really just makes me feel so disgusted deep down, even reading this stuff. Like, this is a 10-year-old. Just really think about that for a second. A 10-year-old vaping and doing stuff that is so bad that the son is like retracting the information and bleeping it out. Like that is, just makes me feel so icky inside. I'm gonna go take a hot bath and try to feel better. And just know that most people are not like this. This is an extreme case. Guys, I'm sitting here editing and mid-edit, I go on Reddit and see that Jenelle has more drama. I cannot believe this girl's life. Like, people were saying back in the day, like, she's never gonna change, she'll always be this way. But, like, a lot of the moms on the show kind of grew up a little bit. Not her. So this was posted on the Ashley's Reality Roundup just now. Jenelle Evans' son Jace removed from Teen Mom Star's home after running away following terrible fight with Jenelle. And again, there is a 911 call. So we know that Jace has a history of running away, especially last year. It was a big problem. It was like every other week we got a new report of Jace running away. And I guess now that he's in Vegas, he probably made some friends and is now comfortable enough to run away there as well. Especially being that he is now isolated from all his family members and is stuck with just Jenelle and August. So apparently this call was made last Sunday, so this is last week, right after she brought back Kaiser. So things were already chaotic. She's just getting back from Tennessee. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this call.
911 emergency response is 30470. Do you need police, fire, or medical?
No. But my guys and sitting here smashing everything in my house.
What's the
This
address?
happened last night. 1 Street.
Is that a house, apartment, business?
House.
And what's going on there right now?
So last night he was mad and, you know, everything calmed down. The cops said there's nothing we can do. And then this morning, just now, he just started smashing things. I told my 2 younger kids, stay away from him. He smashed his door, my door, closet door, smashing cabinets, and then because I told him I will call the police again on him if he doesn't stop. And now I would like for him to be evaluated.
Does he have
No.
how?
And he's been acting this way since he's been 13 and he's 15.
What type of threats is he making?
He's saying, get away from me. Called the cops just now and he just ran out.
And he does not have access to guns?
No, he doesn't.
And he's still smashing items?
What'd you say?
Is he still smashing items?
He ran out when because I said I'm calling the cops right now.
And how long ago
Ran
was
out
he
as I was.
doing
What?
How long ago was he smashing the items?
Stop talking to me. Sorry, my younger son's trying to talk to me. What did you say?
How long ago was he smashing the items and the doors?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
And he's been doing it for 30 minutes. And the only thing I've said to him this morning is, are you hungry? Do you want some food? I'm ordering food. And he hasn't responded. And then he just woke up and started slamming things. And I just let it go. And I didn't say nothing to him. And now everything in my house is like smashed.
Okay.
And it keeps happening. And the cops said they wanted help yesterday.
We're going to go out there right now, okay? What is his name?
Jace.
Right. What is Jace's last name?
Evans.
Right. Do you have his date of birth?
08/02/2009.
Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
White.
Known to do any drinking or drugs?
I think he drinks behind my back, but he smokes weed, and that's why he got mad at me yesterday.
And no weapons,
because
correct?
No. Not that I know of. He just ran out. But I went in his room yesterday and confiscated his pocket knife, and that's all he had, and he's mad that I took that away.
Where did he run out to?
He ran out my front door just now and to the right, so towards the middle school.
He was not armed, correct, before leaving?
No.
What is your name?
Jenelle.
And what's your last name?
Eason.
Can you spell that out for me?
EASON.
And then what's your phone? All right, Jenelle, we do have the cost set up. We'll send a unit out there as soon as we can.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello?
Metro Police on a recorded line. Am I speaking with Jenelle?
Yes, this is her.
Just because we are going to make contact with you, we would need to know if you're under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
No, not at all.
And any weapons in the house?
I have weapons in the house, but they're locked up.
What type of weapon? And then you'll be standing inside the house, correct?
Yes, I'm not. Yeah, I have 2 younger kids. I have a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old here, and he did this all in front of them. And so I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. I don't want him coming in to destroy the house, but I don't also want him to touch them. So I'm just standing here in front of my door.
So he had ran away on Saturday, came back, ran away again on Sunday morning after Jace and Jenelle got into a nasty fight. After he ran away on Sunday, I guess the authorities said that's about enough, and they removed Jace from Jenelle's home, and he has not been back. The Ashley can confirm Jace is safe, but will not be going back to Jenelle's home for the foreseeable future. The Ashley also dug up a police report in which Jenelle told cops that Jace screamed, "Fuck you, bitch," in her face and proceeded to smash her kitchen cabinets. And it's not funny because I don't like that this is happening to Jace. I don't like that he's having these issues. But on the other hand, what karma for Jenelle after causing all that hell to Barbara and being a nightmare child. Now she's kind of getting the other side of it. And that's all the information that we have for now. So this woman's life, I mean, I just can't imagine. She dumps her child off in Tennessee, Kaiser, goes back and gets him, then she loses Jace. It's like she cannot keep all three of these kids at once. And she's never taken care of them all alone. She's always had David, now it's August, and these are not good people, but they're at least providing some sort of supervision that she clearly cannot give. She is not a mom. She is not a mom. Like, she doesn't have a redemption arc here. There's nothing good about this situation. And it seems like history is just repeating itself and the same thing is going to keep happening over and over again. The only saving grace here is, Kaiser's grandma. I worry about Ensley because there's no issues with her yet. She's too young, but we know David's side of the family is trash. No one's going to be able to help there if something ever happens. As for Jace, we know that Andrew was, gone for 15 years and he came back sort of, but not really. Talk to him on the phone here and there, but he's not saying, "Here, come to my place and live with me." And neither are Andrew's parents, which we don't know too much about them, but I'm thinking, who does Jace have? Who can he go to where he will feel safe? And it's hard because he doesn't really have anyone. He doesn't have Jenelle. He doesn't have Barbara anymore. And yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below.